Alright, welcome back to Sorcery. We just left Dumpus after getting 3 whole gold by digging a hole. And what does this spirit animal is the camel? Is far from you now. Okay, it was the eagle, now it's the camel. I guess we're leaving Dumpus. I wish I'd been able to go to that one house in the woods down south, but this one down here, but I never figured out the right path to go there, so I guess we're just leaving Dumpus. You rise early, dismiss the attentions of the householder, and head out into the street. Within a few minutes of walking, you're out of Dumpus and back on the road. After an hour or so, the way branches. After an hour or so, the path branches, with one heading into the hills and the other turning downhill and along the side of a barren, stony ridge. Is that a village you can make out on the top? It seems a lonely place for it. Oh, the villages! Never know, you might find something. I could really use some rations. Gentle upward slope becomes a steep climb and you are forced to rest several times. So far you've been walking through the foothills. Now the journey will become more serious. When finally you reach the summit and look out over the low plateau you have crested, you see the path runs through a small settlement of crudely fashioned huts. There are villagers, talking and working. Watch for a little. You stay at your vantage point and watch the village to see if things change. After a while, you begin to notice something strange about the way the people are moving. First, you notice one is limping, then another. Then you realize they are all shuffling as they move. Some use sticks. One is even crawling. You stay hidden and watch longer. After a while, you realize that whatever is happening in the village, it is desperate. There is no laughter, no joy, no trade or commerce. The women do not talk and the men do not watch. It's like a prison camp. Stay away and go and visit. Definitely gonna go visit. I just wanted to know what I was getting into first. They are in need of a savior. You may not be that woman, but you can try. You approach open arms and show you are not a threat. But the message is not understood. They see you and panic. They begin to scurry inside their huts as if you were an army and not a lone traveler. Bodies are thin and malnourished. They disappear through their doors. You notice some are missing limbs. Stop at a door and knock. You knock. There's no reply. Another hut. You approach the next hut. From inside you hear murmur of voices, so you enter. The hovel is tiny and poor with no furnishings. Small fire burns in the middle of the floor, and by the far wall a family of 3 cowers. Woman is shaking a hand as if to hold you back. Cast a spell. Does that mean there's a spell that might be... I don't see anything that would be useful. Dud. Just because I can. Let's see. Maybe it'll make them look... Make me look like a friend if they see a pile of gold. Or it might backfire. Or they may not have a D. There is no D. Of course there's no D. So there isn't the spell I want to use. And I can't think of another that I have everything for. I'll just try this. You put your hand out to greet the man. He shuffles over nervously and grasps it with feeble strength. Are you a magical stranger? You are not afraid of us? Why would I be afraid? Why? Don't you know? We have the plague. You spring back, but too late. You can feel the infection on the palm of your hand like a curse. Is there a cure? The man shakes his head. Some say drink the juice of a blimberry, but we have all tried, and no berries grow around the village any longer. I suppose we are still alive, but we are not well. You have a few days. Of course. I don't know. I can't really do anything. Fear overtakes you and you race out the door till you're clear of the village. Well, that was unfortunate. From the summit, you get a good view. Look around. Ahead, down a steep slope, the next village is sprawled out before you, and even from here, you can catch the sound of merry voices and shouting from the trees. It must be a carnival. Looking right, you hear a roaring voice and can just make out a beautiful, majestic waterfall plunging from a cliff into a great rock bowl. You wait for a few minutes, marveling how clear the water seems, and it's time to move on. You're feeling cold. Purple blotches are breaking out of the back of your hands. Pray for healing. You drop down to your knees in prayer, but the spirit is far from you. After 10 minutes, you stagger to your feet. Well, I'll just have to wait till my fox comes in. Take the long way down. Some way down the hill, you stop for a rest, sit on the border to survey what lies ahead. The path leads downwards, and at its foot, cradled between three peaks, is a village, quite large one at that. You cough. Mind you, the sun is falling rapidly. It will be night soon. If I go to the village, they're going to try to kill me. Avoiding the village when you have no food is probably rash, but people here cannot be trusted. No. They're going to kill me because I have the plague. You determine to find somewhere to sleep within sight of the village, but not within its walls. You hop down a boulder where overhanging branch touches your face and you hear lively chirping. Turning around. Hovering at your shoulders is a small creature the size of a bird. It's very childlike, but thin, with green skin and it flies in transparent wings. It seems friendly enough, it even lands on your shoulders. Tiny clawed toes pinching slightly. Talk to it. Hello, my name is John. What are you? It does a backflip and gives a bow. I'm a Minimite. Pleased to meet you. It reaches out a tiny hand and shakes your earlobe. I'll eat you if you try that again. I'll choke you if you do, the creature whips back. Tiny bones. What can you tell me about the village? That's Biritanti, and it's very safe. It's the largest village in the whole of the hills. Every traveler who comes this way spends at least one night there, so it's a bit expensive, especially for Minimites, but pleasant enough. Creature starts hopping up and down. Come on, it grumbles. Let's see. Let's get going, can we? What do you want with me? See that village? Last time I tried to go through, it told me I wasn't welcome, so I wouldn't mind some protection. Creature pauses to sniff you. Are you ill? And ask. Ew, I think you are. Let's go then. Creature shakes you by the ear in excitement and you set off along the path once more. You descend into the bowl of the valley. The hills on either side are toweringly tall and throw the village into deep shadow. It would seem a very gloomy, threatening place, but from the streets come the distant sound of laughter and merriment. Enter the town. You continue along the path. The sound of festivities grows louder. It's almost spooky here in the shade of the valley, and after so long on the dire road, the people seem to be enjoying themselves. See, the Minimite says on your shoulder. I told you it'd be a happy place. What's going on? Are they bewitched? No. If there was magic, believe me, I'd know. This is the festival of the young. What's that? Well, take a look. The idea is that once a year, the children are allowed freedom of the village. It's a great time of fun and lots of pranks. Quickly becomes obvious what he means. You pass the first few buildings where you find a number of children sitting in the street and drinking ale from deep mugs. Further on, a young boy is holding an old woman over his knee and spanking her. On the other side of the street, a group of boys is fighting outside a hut with a sign that reads Glandragor's Tavern. It is complete mayhem. Awesome. Tavern, further into town. I need to see if I can find somewhere to buy something with my 3 gold. You pass beyond the tavern and turn a corner to find a group of girls standing by a signpost pointing to the crystal waterfall. They are tripping up their elders as they pass and giggling. Ask them about the waterfall. They look at you with some disgust. You look like the kind that needs the waterfall. You look like a dying dog, says one. They giggle. Better go fast before your arms drop off. The symptoms of the plague must be showing already. The waterfall can heal me. Awesome. Find an inn. Visit the waterfall. The waterfall sounds like a healing spring. You ignore the girls and head up a path that climbs through the crack in the mountainside. Soon the air is filled by thundering. It's quite a climb, but eventually you turn a corner through a narrow cleft in the rock and see up close the waterfall you glimpsed from the hilltop earlier today. Large crystal stalactites hang from either side of the water. There's only one patch to reach it, winding up the rock face, and it passes by a small hut where a ruffian is collecting money. Ask John to scout ahead. Why don't you scout ahead? Find out if the waterfall is worth the money. John looks uncertain and agrees. All right, but I'll be quick. Don't think of getting rid of me just like that. I can catch up. He flaps away up the path. Greet the ruffian. Make your way over to the hut. Greetings, you begin. You collect a fee for the waters. I do, sneezes the ruffian. These waters cannot be so healing that he has not caught an awful flu from them. 3 gold pieces. There's a buzzing at your shoulder. John returns and resettles himself. It doesn't look like much to me. I think you'd be wasting gold if you pay. Haggle. 3 for a bath? That's too much. The waters are healing, he explains. They'll do more than make you clean. If I haggle again, I'll give you 2. All right, 2, but don't tell anyone I did it. 1. He almost laughs. I'm not a charity. Well, Might as well try. That at least gives me one. How much that I can do with that? You hand over your coins. He pockets them quickly, scanning to make sure he hasn't been seen. Let's check it out. You head up the water hall, which cascades forcefully into a deep pool. You strip off your clothes and dive into the pool while John flitters through the froth. The cool water is fresh and invigorating. You feel yourself getting rapidly better. Feel as though a great weight is lifting up from your shoulders. Your plague symptoms are disappearing. You feel a swell of confidence. Coming here was the best decision you have made. Wait, this water cures diseases? Something about this seems terribly important. Where did it come from? How is this possible? Looking up the sheer cliff face, you make out nothing beyond a slight shadow hovering at the very edge of the precipice, like a gigantic spider waiting to jump. Whatever this is, it must be a place of great power, a place to be sought out, or a place to be avoided. Now you can move on, refreshed and ready for the night. Awesome! This got me. 2 gold got me cured of the plague and full stamina. I still don't have any food. But we're going to rest at the waterfall. I want to take this water back to the plague city, but I don't know how to do that. The idea of going back to the village now is unappealing. You're refreshed and calm, and the scenery here is beautiful and peaceful. Getting out of the pool, you dry off, collect your things, and head into the trees to find a spot to rest. Between curling roots, you find a small place to settle down and rest. The pesky Minamite Jan perches a little way above on a knot and is quickly asleep. You're tired enough to follow suit, but you're hungry from not having eaten. Yeah, I know. You rest your head into your backpack and close your eyes. Perhaps a few hours pass when you wake suddenly aware of a shadow moving between the tree trunks. It turns as it sniffs the air. A wolfhound. Fight the beast. Cast a spell. Throw something. Hide. Wonder how difficult it is. You know what? I wonder if I can cast the weakness spell again. Dawes. Do I have a Dawes? I didn't have a D a second ago, but I might have a D now. BJL. I have a BJ and L. I could do big. Let's see what else I have. I'm beginning to understand the magic thing too. It's first, second, third letter. So B, J, and L. I guess I'll do that. B, G. Big! You complete the spell, but nothing happens. The wolfhound charges you. You draw your sword and metal flashing. The beast howls. What? How do I cast a spell during battle? And why didn't it do anything? Alright. 2 stamina lost. Try again. There we go. 1 stamina. That's the best I can do against this guy. The beast is defeated. I'm going to sleep. Once satisfied, you lay down and try to sleep. John flutters down and resettles on your shoulder. Your dreams are filled with waking, with peaks and valleys and endless paths. A curious light plays across them, building walls to heights before ruining them as it moves away. The rest of the night passes silently. Hi, kitty. Can I take the magic water back to the Plague City? No? You do not let us backtrack at all. That's very disappointing. Long way. Just scouting around. Don't see anything. No random encounters. That's also kind of disappointing. Would have been fun if there was a random encounter. Nice city you have here. Got the plague cured. Thanks, guys. See you later. You rise early from your spot beneath the tree. As you gather your things, John leaps up and onto your shoulder. Ready to go, he chirps. You pass through the village, which is now as quiet as the grave, and rejoin the path on the far side of Baritani. The sun sits on the horizon like a gleaming jewel. If all goes well, you will reach Torapani today, the last village in the hills. Ask for advice. Which way? To the right is a forest, to the left is easier. The path heads through the field of black flowers. What else do you know? Nothing! And that's fine way to talk to your guide. I'm not charging you for advice, you know. You'll get no more from the creature. With Torapani so close it hardly matters which way you go, surely. Yeah. Let's go through the forest. Why? Because we go right to your side, then be on your guard. You climb a rise. The way is not too steep, and as noon approaches, you have crested the ridge and are descending yet again. You are now at the highest point of the hills, where the trees are thin, the view goes on forever, and sometimes you catch a glimpse of Kare on the northern horizon. With nothing to eat, you keep walking into early afternoon. I know, I just can't find anywhere to buy food. John is in a talkative mood and fills the air around with a chatter about what he can see and how things smell and what he plans to do once he makes his fortune in Kare. As you pass from the open hillside into a patch of deep forest, John falls quiet and hisses in your ear. Stop! Stop now! Why? Because there is something following us. Come to a dead stop. John is right. Something is moving through the trees behind you. A moment later, a point of steel has emerged from the darkness between two trees and touches your neck. You've seen me, it whispers. I know it. Answer. I see nothing, you call back. You are quite safe. It is not I who is not safe, returns the voice. Who is it? There is no reply, but the tall, dark figure of an assassin emerges from the trees. He is dressed head to toe in black, and you had not seen him a moment before, even though he's been standing a mere arm's length away. He wields a sharp scimitar in expert hands. Yeah, I know which spell I want to cast. Give me a second. Where's your drop a weapon spell? Please tell me you have dropped the weapon. Dumb. D-U-M. Please tell me we have dumb. Because I am in desperate need of saving from this. Oh, damn it. Oh, Z-K-W little f. I could do zap. Z. Lightning! You cast the spell, but nothing happens. That's the second time. Did these magic waters make me unable to cast magic? I should probably tell you, whispers, Mennonites are protected by an aura. It's a curse. Like now, you can't cast magic while I'm nearby. Oh. You couldn't have told me that before. Great. Just defend. Wow. Why isn't he doing anything? Ow. He did something. Two. Against this guy, I think two's gonna be the best I'm gonna get. The assassin is not dead, but lies on the floor gasping. Spare him. Why? Because I already have elves after me. Maybe if I spare him, he'll come help me when the elves come try to murder my face, because I blew lightning in their faces. Then get up, you tell him, holding your sword back but not putting it away yet. He nods and sheathes his blade. You are a worthy victor. Nice to meet you. You have saved me. You owe me in part. My name is Flanker and I'm an assassin and a thief. Yes. Why did you attack me? It's a simple matter. I pick on wayfarers for practice in hiding and killing. I assumed you'd be no match, especially when I saw your pet. He points briefly at the Mennonite, who is currently hiding under a fold in your tunic. But I see I was wrong. He bows his head once, perhaps in respect, perhaps from the pain of his injuries. You are traveling to Kahare, he asks. Yes. No. Why do you ask? That is the way I'm going as well. Perhaps I will not see you once we part now, but if I do, remember me. I will not forget the debt I owe you. What's your business there? I don't think I need to ask you. You're not going to tell me. I will remember you there. See? I'm going to have an assassin on my side now. He bows his head. This time it's definitely from pain. Go, he hisses. You cannot aid me. Fine. Leave him. You nod, heading out of the forest. Assassin friend. Anything in the forest? Let's check on our way out. Nope. Nope. No decision is permanent. Click rewind. Oh. I could have used that note like, 10 gold and 6 rations ago. How much longer do you think we'll be traveling today, Minamite asks. I'm hungry and tired. We've gone such a long way. Not much further. Oops, that's not what I meant. The Minamite complains. You continue along the path around the side of a hill. Can I undo that? Can I go here? Nope. Okay, well, I didn't mean to be mean to him, but whatever. A wooden hut is set into the slope with an old woman sitting on the front step. A river seems to emerge from beneath her. As you get closer, you realize the water flows underneath her house, and the house is set on splayed struts like an insect, straddling the watercourse. A few paces from the front of the house, the water plunges over the edge of the cliff and disappears. This is the top of the waterfall! Maybe we can learn about the magic waterfall. Greet the woman. Greetings! Come over here, won't you? I can barely see you. Awesome. Let's go find out about the magic waterfall. Come in, please. I get so lonely living out here on my way, alone from the villages. You know what? I'm sure I can take care of whatever you're going to throw at me. Thank you, you follow her inside. I'll bring us some tea, she says. She sounds nervous. Hurrying into her kitchen, she returns with 2 large cups. Watch it, John whispers in your ear. I don't trust this one. Not that I care what happens to you, of course. Is there a way to cast a spell? Like, just randomly. That's the one thing I can't figure out. Like, is this a trap? I'm not drinking the tea. Make conversation. The tea is still hot. You cup it between your hands when you speak. What's your name? Why do you live alone? This is such a beautiful place. This is the top of the crystal waterfall. The river runs right under my house. They say it carries my goodness and youth while I sleep, and the villagers bathe in it for luck. She giggles. I'm sure it isn't quite true. What's your name? They call me Gaza Moon, she replies. I used to be quite well known in my way. You nod, but you have never heard of her. Why do you live alone? Are you so miserable? Oh, she smiles wearily. No one bothers me. Why would they? You smile and nod. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching your arm before the cup reaches your lips. Oh, she says suddenly. I've forgotten the pot. She goes back to the kitchen to fetch it. Drink tea, switch cups, make a run for it. You know what? I'm going to drink the tea. I'm going to trust. I'm hoping that if it was poisoned in the beginning, that making conversation with her just theoretically changed like the storyline, so that if I drink my tea and don't switch cups with her, then she'll trust me. If I'm like, oh yeah, I'll trust you, you trust me, I'm gonna die, aren't I? You lift your mug, blowing away the steam as the old lady returns. She lifts her mug and takes a deep gulp. Your own tea is gently refreshing. Then she sputters, coughs, and grips her side. Like I said, I was pretty sure the game was trying to trick me. So I tricked the game back. But you know what? I'll help her anyway. Something wrong? Oh, no, she replies, trying to smile, clearly doubled in pain. Stumbling and almost falling, she staggers to her kitchen and gulps down another drink. When she returns, she seems much better. I am not as young as I was, she explains. All the same, she pushes her tea to one side. But tell me about you. You're a traveler? Yes. A merchant. An outcast. Yes. I'm going with outcast. Just, you've already tried to poison me once. Really, she frowns. A murder, perhaps? Indeed, you answer. Oh, tell me, on your journey, did you happen across an old man, did you? I've met a lot of people. Of course, but this one's special. Very old. Carrying a page from a spell book. No, I didn't meet that one. Really? It's a pity. She seems to think to a moment and adds, do you mind? But do you have anything of a magical nature? Yes. But no spellbook pages. What page do you want? Oh, it's part of a spell of pest repulsion I once had. I'm sure it is. It was very useful around here. Go on, go away. You step back into the path. John lets out a sigh of relief. You know she was one of the most powerful sorcerers in the hills, he whispers. I could smell it on her. You're lucky you got away alive. You shrug. A harmless old lady. Or so she seemed. Yep. I am going to just go over this way. Anything? No random encounters. Still no random encounters. That's unfortunate. It is now late afternoon. You pass over the brow of the next hill and below is a village of Torapani, slung from one side of the valley to the next like a flood barrier. Observe it. Torapani is a village of the Sven, an aggressive-looking race of man-orcs. You might expect their village to be rowdy, but it seems strangely quiet. There's no way around it. You'll have to go through. You enter the village. There is a definite air of depression hanging over the place. The Svens are going about their business slowly and miserably and pay you no heed. You sit yourself down on a tree stump in the very center of the village to consider your options. Find an interest, make contact with the villagers. Always gather information. You spy a group of Svens sitting outside a low hut and you walk over and sit yourself down. They are discussing a friend apparently killed in the night by an assassin's curved blade. I know this assassin, but I'm not going to tell them that. Why are you all afraid? We're afraid of nothing, but no, much worse. Another Sven bangs his head on the table. But with Esh dead, who saved Tia? Who is Tia? Our flower Sven, the Sven who answers wipes a tear from the corner of his eye, scratching himself painfully with an uncut fingernail. Tia is Chief's daughter. Esh was to save her. Now Esh is not alive, so Tia soon not alive. What happened to her? Goblins. They sacrifice? Sacrifice? He is unsure of the words, so mimes a gesture like stabbing downward with a blade knife. Yes, sacrifice to a great cave demon. Trouble is, another says, our villager die if chief line end. Tia is end, so if end ends, we end. All very sad. Very sad, they agree. Who are you? One asked suddenly, as if only thinking about it. He prods you in the chest. Warrior. Sorcerer. Traveler. I am great warrior. Yes, I am warrior. I will save your Tia. Great warrior. Great warrior? The greatest. Best is good, meek, Tifa. He signals to the others who are quickly on their feet, big hefty arms swinging for you. We take to Chief! Before you can resist, they have you and are hauling you bodily on their shoulders. Jin clings to your shoulder, refusing to be shaken free. Going to wait. I need to save my spirit because, damn it. You hold your tongue and wait to see where they are taking you. You pass through the village. Several Svens watch from doorways and windows, their faces silent and somber. A few murmur blessings or maybe curses as you pass. You reach a low head at the edge of the village. You are set down carefully. Yes, they take me on a tour through their village. See? Tour through the village. They don't know a straight line. Door is slammed and locked. A moment later, it reopens and your possessions are thrown inside. I'm going to try to sleep while I can. A few more minutes pass with no more movement. Figuring they'll probably wait until daylight, you put your head down to sleep. Aching in your empty belly gnaws at you with glee. Yes, I know. I haven't been able to find any food in like fucking 2 weeks. Your dreams are filled with grasping hands and long dark nails scratching at your flesh, and however much you toss and turn on the floor, you cannot quite get them out of your mind. Daybreak. Okay. You are still alone. An hour passes before you hear any noise outside. Then the door of the hut opens and 5 Svens come in. They drag you roughly out and across the street to another hut where an old man with gray hair sits. He is wearing outlandish, colorful robes. My name is Proceus, Chief. He slaps his chest twice. I apologize. And he bows, brushing the dust on the floor with his sleeves. Apology accepted. Tell me what you want. He nods up. First, he waves to a menial who brings milk and bread. Oh, thank God. Eat it. Gratefully, you bolt down the meal. It does not seem to be poisoned and it nourishes you. The bowl is removed and the chief squats down in the pool of cloth. John cowers under your own cloak, hoping to go unnoticed and quiet for once. I have need of you and your strength. Tell me. I shall. My daughter, my child, she is taken, offered to a terrible demon. Goblins. Chief spits the word. Goblins. He shakes his head as tears well up in his eyes. We never friends. But we never enemies like this. I not understand their hate. Why they care about demons in caves. Why am I going to save her? I'm going to go get some goblin teeth. That's why. I'm going to go save her so I can rip some goblin teeth out of their goblin heads. So I can cast spells. Also, as I found out with the elves, it's better to make friends. Also goblin teeth. And then backstab him later. We'll save her. The chief wipes away a tear with a clawed finger. He gestures to the other Sphinx, who still taking no chances, grab your arms and haul you to your feet. Crack in the ground. All me to my feet. Take the long way around. You are led along a short pathway through the forest to a crack in the ground. One Sphinx has brought a rope and another a basket. They are preparing to lower you down into the pit of the earth. Try and escape? You will pay me richly for this. Sphinx nod. The chief replies, we are poor, but we will try. Just give me food. I don't even care about the money. Just give me fucking food. Good. Watch the darkness, he declares as they start to lower you down. From your shoulder, John murmurs, we're in trouble now. He shivers. You hit the floor with a thud and peer into the darkness. Your eyes can make out nothing, but a slight breeze suggests an endless space in all directions. You are blind, helpless, and trapped. Something clatters from your feet above. One of the Sphinx shouts something down to you. Feel what they sent. Probably a torch? Drywood torch. Something else falls and strikes you on the head. Tinderbox! Curse whoever hit you. You hurl a curse upwards, despite the Sphinx, despite their concern over the missing tribe member, laugh. The sound echoes like water between the walls. Rubbing the bruise on your head, you reach down and light the tinderbox. Find the tinderbox and light the torch. Well, let's see what's in here. You can now see you're in a large cavern, wide and deep. At the far end, passageways disappear to the left and right. Through an uneven rockfall at the end of the cavern, you hear a murmur. Listen. You clamber over the rocks to the edge of the cavern to investigate the sound. It is a whimpering coming from the other side of the pile of stones. The Sphinx girl, perhaps? She came in this way, but then the cave-in blocked off her path. You will need to find a way to reach her. Go right. Passage rises up a gentle incline. At the top, a thick layer of crystal gleams in the torchlight, and a tunnel ends in a T-junction. Look at the crystal. The seam seems to be made out of pure diamond. It was no doubt in quest of this that these tunnels were carved. But why is no one mining here now? Dig out the crystal. You try to pry some diamonds loose from the incredible seam of rock, but your sword is not up to the task and you would only make it blunt. You could perhaps return with a proper pick, but only if you can escape these tunnels first. Just keep going right. You walk down the passage for several minutes and slip in some dirt, and the ground beneath your feet gives way. Plunge into a hidden pit and land on something soft. A lucky escape! Look around. Not counting your luck, you look around, and sure enough, you're out of the frying pan and into the reptile den. You are in a pit of snakes. I can't use magic. Dear God, help me. You whisper a prayer to your camel. Does it hear you? The snakes are gathering around you and coming closer. Then they begin to climb the walls, holding themselves erect, forming a living ladder that stretches to the passage above. You know what? I'm just going to take it as a sign for my God. You steel your courage and climb back up to the tunnel above. Back on firm ground, you give thanks to your spirit, but you are aware you'll not be able to help again. You're soon back to the crystal seam, where the side passage opens on the left. You go left. Then you see a spot of sunlight up ahead and rush forward to find yourself back beneath the crack in the ceiling through which you came. Turn back. Go left. Here the cave system widens. Pendulous stalactites hang from the ceiling as if about to fall and skewer you in place. You skirt between them, following a thin, safe path until a passageway appears on your right. Go straight. The passageway slopes down a short way and crack splits in the left. 2 stones are stacked on top of another. Examine the stones. There's nothing special except they happen to be on top of one another. Just keep going straight. The tunnel twists and bends sharply as if carved by a river now long since dried away. You lose all sense of which way is which except to keep going forward, where the path you are creeping through finishes at another fork. There's a stacked pair of stones here as well. Go right! The cave floor here is an inch deep in water, dripping from an arched ceiling far above. The droplets that land on you are ice cold and run like sharpened claws down your back. I don't like this, John mutters. Water plays havoc with my wings. A few strides further on, the widening seam forks again. A single stone sits by the wall. Go right again. The rock wall of the passage turns from natural stone to something carved and shaped by ancient hands. There is an occasional mark of lettering now, half rubbed away by time, spelling some message of doom. Then the passage ends quite abruptly in a sealed door. Open it. You push open the door slowly. Then a catch clicks and the ominous rumbling start. Behind you, a wall is rising from the floor to seal off your escape. John squeals in alarm. What have you done? Go into the room! You push forward into the room undeterred, only to be met with an appalling sight. There are hundreds of gallons of water gushing towards you. You are swept off the ground as the room and corridor fill. You are sure to drown. Well, my spirit can't help me, and I can't use magic because I have a fairy on my shoulder, so I'm fucked. Little John has vanished from sight, whisked away by the water, but you are determined to escape. Well, now I can use my magic. Except it won't let me use my magic. Use an item. You begin to hunt rapidly through your pack for something that will aid you, but no one is in the history of the hills has survived the demon's deluge. You will desperately think of the air in the caves as your lungs fill with water. You have drowned in a forgotten hole. Well, that's the end of that. I will come back in the next episode. We'll go back to the beginning of the cave, I suppose. Or not come down here at all. But that'll be it for this one.